Well, we're live. Welcome, everybody. We'll wait for a few minutes for the stream to boot up and get across the internet, and I'm going to explain some things to you. Yeah, I got some gripes over the last Nats, but it won't do any good, so I'll leave them out. But there are some ways to fix things. Congratulations to all the winners of the top 5. Good show. I did, try to film that or stream that, whether it came through or not is really not my fault. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and trying to get the stream set up so that it would be at least halfway watchable. The first thing I'd like to say is thank you to the anonymous donor that got me the book. If you guys haven't seen this book, The History of Stunt, it's 2 volumes by Win Paul. It's a super nice book. Super nice. It is pricey, but for the amount of work that went into it, probably not. The reason why I called this stream the book is because after getting this book, I read in the back here. Let's see, this book or the other book. And I know you guys have been dying for me to do one of these. We'll go through some of the stuff in the book here. In the back of the book, it has all the airplanes and all the guys who, like Skyscraper Bob Parker, Skyrudder Zan DeJang or whatever, Slabster Ron Roth, the Schlegel, Dave Schlegel. Anyway, I was really surprised, and I'll read you the paragraph. Got the Strega, Wendy Yurtnowski. If you have an airplane that you're looking for, it's in the back of this book, if it's any good. I mean, there's been a lot of airplanes that aren't included, but the one that I was particularly interested in, Viper. Viper's in this book. 9 versions starting in 94. He missed the date by 3 years. It's 91. But it appeared in 94 magazine, so maybe that's why he did it. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this. Inverted, let's see. Inverted engine position. It was a 40 to 61 pipe, 56 to 60 inches, because there was several. I-beam wing, flaps, wing gear with wheel pants, built up fuselage of molded balsa with medium height turtle deck and flush medium sized canopy. Full cow. Text, building and finishing photos, no plans. Stunt News, July, August 2005, page 50. Color reference photo, Stunt News, July, August 2005, inside front cover. Plans available from yours truly. Several beautiful versions from me, Robert, were built. Well, there were 9, and the first one came out in 91. What I'm going to do with this is the 94 model had a VF-46 on a pipe. I got pictures of it around here somewhere. We're not going to build one with a VF-46 and a foam wing, but I am going to build a Viper for next year's for next year's flight. The reason being is I can fly it in Super 70s or Nostalgia 30, whatever they want to call it, and Pampa. So I only need one airplane. This book, the second book, Stunt History, has my airplane, the second page in. My Thunderbolt, which was kind of cool. That's a rendering, it's not a photograph. But if you go to 2007, which I was told that I was in there, 2007, I'm Plane of the Year. 02, 02, 04, 04, 06. Here we go. Many, many pictures of people, and I'm looking in here and I'm seeing how many of these people are gone. It's really sad. Okay, 2007. My dad's even in here. There I am in 07 with that airplane. And of course, it's on the opening page of 07 as well. They use that same rendering. I don't know how, like, wind whipper. That was a typo. That's not a wind whipper. That's my airplane. But I noticed that Yevis Hernandez copied my paint scheme to a T, along with Top Flight, by the way. And how do I know that he copied me and I didn't copy him? Because in 2011, Bill Granderson's gone. Let's see. Of course, copying is a sincerest form of flattery, so that's okay. And there we are, 2011. That's the year Bruce won. You can't believe how many pictures are in this book. It's just a phenomenal book. It has the Brodak fly-ins and oh, there we are, right there, 2011. I'm back on the front row. So that's 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sat on the front row 4 years. And then I crashed it down in Memphis. It's half of it's hanging on the wall there. Anyway, I can't find it. This book is so big. Whiteley, he's gone. Anyway, I want to thank the anonymous donor of this book. They wouldn't tell me who gave it to me. Sean McAtee, he's in there. There's the Moon Brothers. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, my airplane got 16 points. It pissed me off big time. And I think the person knew it too. Anyway, we'll have to make it so obvious next year that that can't happen. This contest for appearance was all about spray shine. John told me that there would never be another dope finish win. Looks like he might be right. you got to look at more than the shine when you're looking at a front row airplane. Anyway, enough of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to be building a Viper. I'll probably start on it maybe tomorrow, but I have so many projects to do. I have my Thunderbolt to finish inking, and the Magnum, and let's see, the Magnum, yeah, it's sitting over there. I see it. I'm looking at it. All the parts are there. Just need to put it together. The little half-A jobs. I'm not building any more of those. I'm not going to build any more half-A's. I finished my half-A Cobra, and I gave it to one of the Chris, I think his name. I think it's Chris. And I never even flew it. I finished it and just gave it to him. Yeah, I got a set of Cobra cores here. I got a set of Cobra wing cores. All this stuff is, I don't know, just so heavy. Let's see what this weighs. .10, so the wing is going to be 2 ounces, 2¼ ounces. It's just so hard to make things super light, especially with the materials we got today. Oh well. Am I thinking of selling the cores? Well, I don't know. What do you give me for them? And are you around that I can hand them to you and not have to ship them? Dallas. That's a ways. If I'd have known that, I could have brought them to the Nats and given them to, I keep wanting to say his name's Mike. Might not be Mike Scott. Maybe that is his name. Friend of Giski's. Things are okay. I had a disastrous Nats appearance, worst Nats appearance of my life. First round, tail up, took an inch off, or a ½ inch off my prop, and instead of taking an attempt, I just went ahead and flew it through and ran out of fuel on the hourglass, and that's when the wind was calm. And I didn't have a propeller. I only had this prop, and this prop was untested because I left my good propellers on the table like an idiot. Just getting excited to get out the door. It's okay. I just asking. I've got a lot on build. I'm already okay. Yeah, my flight time was killed the first 10 feet of my first flight. So what are you gonna do? My fault. Not being prepared. I kind of knew it was a disaster. Gnats anyway. No practice. Untested airplane. I'm not gonna go through it. Didn't hurt the airplane. That's what really counts. There are some good things that came out of it. I got it sorted out. The test flights the day before on Circle 4 proved that was the right propeller, and I got another one on it now. I got 2 more coming. And the tank works. The tank setup works. So we're not totally dead in the water. And these flying sessions that I've been having have proven that it wasn't my fuel tank that was the problem. It was the fuel itself. So we got that problem sorted out, and I'm going to be bringing back the Aegis, put it back together. Come Wednesday, I'll have a new tank for it. I took the tank out of Aegis and put it in this. So I'll get another tank in the Aegis, and we'll get that back out with good fuel in it, and I know that'll work. So we got 4 airplanes that are frontline airplanes for the year. So that helps. Let me see. All in all, it was, I had a good time. It was a good Nats. Once the pressure's off, you don't have to worry about flying. I could do whatever I want. I got to roam around and BS, and just the way it is. I got to tell you, this filming and flying is getting old. I have no help, and then complaints, and I can only do what the internet allows me to do. I do not have control on the internet. I can't help it that the service is so crappy. I try to buy the best equipment I can, but what am I going to do? If I had satellite internet, maybe it might be better, but shit, I ain't got the money for that. So I hope you guys, I watched some of the top 5 fly off, and the reception wasn't too bad there. I mean, it could have been better, but there's nothing I can do. I wish I had my old service back, but they took that away, just like they took away the analog phones. They got rid of the service that worked and give you something that's crappy. I also went to the Pampa banquet, and I got one of these super nice challenge coins. I don't know who paid for these, but these are super nice. The 50th anniversary Pampa coin. On the back, it has Win, Keith, and Frank around the back, 50th. It's a very nice piece. What will I do with it? Who knows? It'll probably sit in the box somewhere. But the book, you gotta get the book. This book is fantastic. There's like 1,000 pages of pictures in this book. And it has the story of Stunt. Wynn did a super nice job. It was well worth the wait. It took 40 years to write, but hey, shit takes time. This here is my new airplane, the Viper. Can you see it? I see it already. I looked around and I had a spar. I put it back. I had a spar made up. Oh, thanks, John. I had a spar made up. I'll show it to you. This spar is part of the original Viper series. And the reason I got it out, and I was talking to John, I told him I was going to build another Viper. And he said, well, what's it weigh? And, I don't know. I didn't weigh it. But I put it on the scale, and it's 3.5 ounces. This will not be used in an airplane. That's why it's here. It's a nice spar, but it's too heavy. I will see if I can go to Woodcrafters or you could see. Good, Frank. Good. And thank you, John. I could see that why I didn't use this spar. And that's because it's 3.5 ounces. I will go to Woodcrafters and dig through their white pine, and I'll get me a piece of clear 2-inch by 6-foot white pine, and I'll whittle it down into a spar and make it 1 ounce. It takes some time to do that, but you can't cut. You would use it, but you fly RC, yeah. But the way you cut these white pine spars, you can't cut them. You have to sand them. You draw it on the piece of paper and sand it to shape. And then cutting the holes out, you have to drill and Dremel, saw with a Dremel, not with a razor blade, the holes out, and then you have to sand it. And it's a bitch to get a straight spar. I'll probably buy 2 pieces. I used to go to a lumber yard down on Virginia, on Bates, and I'd say to them, "Can I go back up there and look at you?" Well, we don't allow anybody in the back. I said, "Well, I got to find the right piece." And I'd crawl up on top of the rafters and dig around for an hour or so and come out with 1 stick. $1.35 or whatever. And they just look at me like I'm some kind of nut. But that's what was in the original Vipers. If you look at those pictures of the Vipers, it was in the book in '94, the Super Glide, but the first Viper was '91. But I'm not going to build that version. Anyway, the reason why I'm glad that at least he's got a '94, it makes me N30 legal. That way some people go, well, you can't do that. Yeah, okay. And it's perfectly capable of flying Pampa, because I had one that Wendy Wendy really liked the gray one. I think that was, might have been 6 or 8. Might have been Viper 8. It it weighed 48 ounces with a PA 65 in it. Nice airplane. And then I converted it to electric and boom, blew it up. What a mistake that was. I should have left it alone. Of course, we're going to be building a couple of crossfires here this winter. I've been tinkering around on the shop trying to get it cleaned up so Steve can come over here. This place is a wreck. It's going to take me a month just to clean all this crap out. Yep, I spent all that time fixing all the buggers on the Continental. 16 points. Jim Lynch is looking. What a joke that is. But when you guys got guys that don't know what they're doing, makes sense. So we won't worry about that anymore. But I got a new propeller on it, so that's helpful. Oh, man, this thing weighs about 15 pounds. Let's see what it weighs. It's heavy. It weighs so much it's off the scale. No, it's 12 pounds. Okay, I got that. 12 pounds. I can tell you how many ounces something is, but I sure can't feel it in pounds. I'm not used to that poundage. You guys got anything you want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to continue working on cleaning the shop up, and we'll get to building something here shortly. Got to have plenty of knives. I would have done something earlier, but I had to fix the bathtub today, and that took quite a bit of time. My house is old, and the fixtures are old. And I went to Lowe's, and they didn't know what they were looking at, and talked to the manager. He didn't know what he was looking at. So I went to Home Depot, and it was an old guy about my age. He knew what he was looking at, so I got that fixed. That was a good thing. I can't believe they hire people that don't know what they're looking at. It's unreal. Unbelievable. Let's see here. No, I can't come over your house and clean your shop. I have a hard time doing my own. But I got to get this bench cleared off, and so we can start doing something. Maybe we'll get the Thunderbolt out and finish inking that, and get some clear on it here in the next week or so. You know, this kind of takes the wind out of my sails when you do all that work and have somebody that doesn't know, take the wind out of your sails. Oh, fuck them. Oh, sorry. I'll get even. I can tell you that right now. I wish they didn't do that to me. Well, I guess that's about all I got this evening. It's this wasn't a planned stream. If you guys got nothing you want to talk about, we got 18 watchers. I mean, if you got something you want to ask me, you can go ahead and ask. Sure wish Jim Lynch was still alive. I need to call his wife and see how she's doing. Where can I get 5% nitro fuel? Well, glad you asked. Look up Rich's Brew. I bought 2 gallons from him at the Nats. It was $25 a gallon, which is a super good price. However, you ain't gonna like the shipping. He'll be in Toledo if you're up Toledo way. He'll be at the Toledo show. You can get it from him at Toledo. The shipping is $75 for hazmat. So if you're gonna order some, you better get a case, because it don't matter if it's a gallon or a case. But he had what I wanted. He had the 5-10-10. There was a time all he was making, oh, maybe that was Power Master. That's right. It was Power Master that's 22%. Yeah, but that's not his fault, Frank. That's UPS or whoever, how it comes. That's their fault. Everything is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You love the way I build the planes. Yeah. Thanks, Yogi. I didn't have spray shine on my airplane this year, so didn't get maximum points. That ain't right. That ain't right. Could have painted a rock with spray shine and got on the front row, because some of them airplanes were sanded with rocks. When mounting my Super Tiger 46, yes, 440s overkill, really, but the standard is a 440 bolt like this, cap screw. That's what everybody uses. It's plenty. I believe that a 256 would hold those motors in, because the shear strength on those motors or the bolts is way overkill. I've seen guys drill out the holes to take a 632. Don't do that. She used the 440. Yep, could have painted a rock with spray shine and been on the front row this year. Chris Cox had a really interesting airplane. I guess he was second row. It was interesting. It was different. Do you plan to another contest? Oh yeah. And we got FCM coming up. That's the end of next month. Then I got a week after that is Cleveland, and the week after that is Detroit, and the week after that is St. Louis. So yeah, there's a few more contests. Cleveland is stunt only. Yes. Well, I'm glad I helped you, Yogi. That's what the channel's for. You know, I see a lot of these people, and they're still, like I say, this year you could have painted a rock with urethane and been on the front row because they looked like they were sanded with rocks. So some of them guys ain't watching. Shapes are way off. There was some nice ones there though. Derek Berry won the concourse with his Cutlass SV airplane. He got second place. I thought he won it, but what am I? That's exactly right. You need to stand closer to the sandpaper for longer periods of time. You get that shape right instead of facets. Yeah, I'm complaining, but good cause. Nothing you can do about it. And I got fourth at Classic. My first fourth place ever. You give me a little plaque, fourth place. I probably could have won that if I would have got a decent motor run. I've had motor problems all year. Uh, First flight was pretty decent. I led the meet all the way to the second round, and well, they started getting better about the time. Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah. I ain't giving up. They started getting better about what the hell's that guy's name with the Cavalier? Shit. The designer of the Cavalier. His name escapes me now. Anyway, he had me by a couple of points. He won the contest. He had me by a couple of points, and then the second round came, and my motor went lean. Just you just can't. I don't know. All my fault. Not prepared. But in classic, I did a respectable job. I got beat out by Tom Dix Simpson, John Simpson. John Simpson won, and Tom Dixon was second. Steve Moon was third, and I was fourth. And I got beat out because I got a crappy motor run. My second flight looked like shit. I gotta go work on my tiger. Good. Take care, Frank. I had Frank on. He's an RC guy. He got a channel, Frank's Model Workshop. I watch from time to time. Looks like he's picking up some stuff. He uses superfill and different things now, so that's a good thing. RC airplanes and control line airplanes are exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's the only difference is I don't put servos in them. Ah, well, we went 40 minutes with nothing to do. We got 24 watchers, lurkers. Look for the, I don't know, you guys want me to finish that Thunderbolt. I just kind of lost interest because it's going to be heavy. It's going to be 65 ounces and it's just too much. Did I see your question on appearance points? No, I didn't see it. Oh. Where did David Fitzgerald and Brett Buck on appearance points? Did appearance points make up the 1 point winning margin? You know, I can't tell you. I think Derek's airplane was ahead of David's, so advantage Derek. So, but it's only a point, you know. So it would have been a 2 point win if he'd have been on the same row. I really don't remember. Brett Buck, he was on the same row with me, I think. 16. If I remember right. It's, man, for those who've never been to a nationals, you got to go at least once. I know you were there, John. You got to compete at least once. There's a lot going on. It's, you know, it's pretty chaotic. There's a lot going on for me trying to keep track of what I'm doing and then keep you guys entertained. Has everyone hit the likes? No. There's 13 guys who are sleeping. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Don't matter because you're going to help me anyway. It's called engagement. But it would be nice to get thumbs up instead. Because I don't know how the algorithm works. You know, it used to be you had to impress people. Now you just have to impress the algorithm. Yeah, there's no written criteria. That's correct. And then you have to have somebody, anything subjective is always going to be controversial, just like this judging stuff. Now, I can't remember the guy's name who does the flight tracings. You know, the pattern doesn't look anything like what it does. You got to look at the flight tracings. I mean, I think the guy who does the best rounds is Bob Hunt. Go look at his flight tracings. I mean, it's right on the line, right around and around. Some of these top guys do ovals like this, and they still get scored high. So that's subjective. Figure skating, sky, you know, diving, high diving, all that. Ballet. I don't know. Don't matter. You can complain all day long. It won't do any good. It's all whose buddy are you? But the guys who won, I watched all the flights. Them guys are really, them guys are really good. They put a lot of practice in. I don't have the time to do that kind of practicing. Not to keep you guys happy. Don't matter. I'm having a good time doing what I'm doing. Well, I said this last year. We'll regroup for next year's Nats, but it all depends on the weather. Living in the Midwest, it ain't like living in California where you can go flying every day. I get 1 or 2 days a month that I can get out there that are any good. Today was a nice day, except the wind was blowing big time. And if you fly at Booter Park, it's like flying in a tornado. Well, we made it 46 minutes. I guess I'll end the stream here. You guys don't have much to talk about. I'll get this up. I'll get the table scraped off, the glass scraped off. We'll get so we can do something. I put the blankets down when I'm working on paint. I got a big rubber mat, foam mat that I put down sometimes too. That way you don't bugger up your paint job. I don't know what I'm going to do for next year. We'll see how it goes. I'll tell you what, though. You enjoyed washing. Yeah, thanks, Gary. Yeah, I'll do a set of drawings for the Viper. They won't be a set of plans. They'll be drawings, full-size drawings. But it is N30 legal next year. So the latest version, the one with the 61 in it. I'm also going to do landing gear and bell cranks for next year's Worlds. The Worlds is going to be at Muncie next year. I'm not sure when, if it's before or after the Nats. I'm going to make the Worlds. I'm going to go to the Worlds, and we'll try to sell some bell cranks and landing gear. So definitely got to do something. I very much enjoyed all of your efforts for Control Line. Thanks, Steve. As long if I was wearing one, hats off to you. Yeah. Hey, did I tell you the story about my haircut? Probably not. I don't know. The girl, I'm from Los Angeles originally, so I always say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm driving down McGalliard, and on the right-hand side, there's a barber shop, Don's Barber Shop. So I whip in there, and I figure I'm going to find, a guy 60 years old, 70 years old cutting hair. No. I opened the door and I walked in there, and it was a black gal with dreadlocks. And she had black people in there, which is no big deal. And I immediately said, "Hey, you know how to cut white people's hair?" She said, "Of course." I said, "Okay, high and tight." She said, "Is that a bald fade?" I said, I don't know. I'm not a hairstylist. Do your thing. So I got the haircut. She did a good job. But she probably thought, what kind of knucklehead is this? Coming here to ask me if I know how to cut white people's hair. But if you don't ask, you don't know. Because it didn't look like it. You know, I was the only white guy there. But anybody that knows me knows that I say what I feel. You know, I just say it, whatever. John said, yeah, I don't doubt you did that. Yeah. I certainly didn't want to sit down in the chair and have her say, I don't know how to cut that kind of hair. Well, yep, she did a good job. So that's all that counts. I got all these 6-ounce tanks. I should have bought that Venturi from Jim Lee for the Evo 36. Damn. Hair is hair. Well, you think so. At least that's what I think. Yeah, we'll get this picked up, scraped up. I gotta find my scraper somewhere. This is no good. It's amazing. It's amazing. I got 4 times the amount of room here as I did in Dayton. I still don't have enough room. It's like there's never I could have a 60 foot by 60 foot pole barn and not have enough room. I mean, I'd have enough room at first, but I bet within a year it'd be crapped up. Ordered 3 more 8-ounce tanks. I talked to the guys who are making PAs. And might see about another run. But you're going to have 30 grand again. And I also talked to him about spinners. You know, those real nice needle nose spinners that Randy sold. We can get those, but you ain't going to like the price. They used to be 50, now they're 70. But I'm going to get some. And I got change everywhere. You know, the reason why we don't have anything in Control Line is because you guys are so damn cheap. When the guy says 70, don't say, you tell me 50. Lucky to get it at 70. My dad, when he was alive, he said, you know, because my 74 Dodge pickup truck cost $5 grand, brand new. 5,000. I thought that was ridiculous. But that truck today is 80. So if you move the zero, just add a zero, that would be 50, and add on the inflation. That's what you get. You can't even get a good used pickup for $5,000. Well, I can see the bench again. Now all I got to do is figure out how to get this glass up. This glass is stuck down without breaking it. I don't know how the hell it gets stuck down like that. It does every so often, though. So you guys thought that was funny, huh? Do you cut white people hair? Yeah. It's like the CA goes through the glass. We got to have this to do a beam wing. And have it super clean. Back when I was in my apartment over on Virginia, before I bought this house, I had an apartment. I had a 4x8 sheet of glass on a table, and you could really align stuff good on that big piece of glass. Okay. Why am I lifting the glass off the bench? I want to move it down and move it this way and level it up. I'll show you how to get it. You guys how to get that flat. Use playing cards to shim the glass. I don't know that I can get it up though. That's the only problem. Let me get a screwdriver. Lost my nose ring. I hope that it don't break. If it breaks, I'll have to get another piece. Pretty spooky. Stuck right here somewhere. There it is. What the hell is that? White paint must have got underneath it. It happens all the time, though. You have a 3-foot steel rule? Yeah, I do. I got it up. Just got to be careful working it. Well, that's the first step in building the Viper, getting the table loose. Oh, got a wheel color here, I need that. I put the wheels back on my Aegis. Now let's see how close this thing is. Now we're not building a watch, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but boy, it better be close. Let me move this shit off of here. I'm gonna clean it up real good too and clean this mess up. This is a precision ground straight edge. Okie dokie. Got a belly in it. So I need to pick it up. Put 3/4 sheets of paper in the center. Yeah. All down the center there, it's got a few thousandths belly in it. I mean, would it matter? Maybe. Let's see. Let me get a few pieces of paper. Okay, where are you? There we are. Yeah, we'll put 4 in there for good measure. Come on. Up, up, up. Oh, some more. Get some more. Can't remember where I got that precision ground straight edge, but really straight. What's it on over here? There we are. Oh. Might have to sit there for a day. How many of you guys have ever built beam wings? If you do this, if you make your work surface super straight, the airplane will be super straight. Way straighter than a conventional build. Frank, you should have stayed. There we go. Needs a little bit over here. Got that the belly out of it there though. We got a little belly right here, so I need to chim it up right there too. Okay, let's quit screwing around. still. What's it on here? This is the jig right here. What am I doing here? There we go. Yep, a little hole there. It doesn't look like I guess I'm going to have a little hole right there, and that's just the way it is. But we made an attempt to get it right. It's a little low right there. Need some playing cards. Oh well. Maybe oh, it's got some shit on it here. I guess it'd help to get all the crap off of it. It would help to get all the stuff off of it. It was good to see all the guys that I've never met before at the Nats. The viewers. John. Can't remember your boy's name, but I know he's probably watching with you. Tyler heard you and did some sanding today. Yep. Tyler, you got to stand closer to the sandpaper for longer periods of time if you want a real nice airplane. That shine, unless you spray shine on it, which seems to be the fad, comes from sanding. Could have painted a rock with urethane this year and got on the front row. John said that when he was out there looking at all the planes on the grass, everybody was saying, "Ooh, look how shiny that is." Yeah. Build a flight streak and paint it with urethane. guess the first thing I should have done was get this scraped off real good, so I'm not sitting on top of something. Make sure that our flat and level is going to be right. Could be sitting on a turd. Big boogie. And that's not good. What state do you live in, John? I can't remember. Wherever I sent that thing to, I don't remember. I hope you get many years of enjoyment out of that. Michigan. You live by Detroit? Bob McDonald's contest is at the Looney Bin in Detroit. The big nut house. Yeah, there we go. West Michigan. My dad's from Michigan. Barron Springs, right on the other side of the Indiana border. I'll tell you a quick story and then I'll end the stream. My dad came to the Nats with me. I guess it was, I don't know, it's in the book, the last time he was at the Nats. I think it was 2011 when I was flying the Beamfire. And after the Nats, we drove up 69 to Barron Springs, Michigan. And we got there and I saw his house he lived in as a kid. And he told me the stories about building model airplanes and lighting them on fire and throwing them out the window and catching the field on fire across the way. Yeah, okay, great. Well, around here somewhere, I have one Army man left. Back then in the 40s, 30s and 40s, they didn't have plastic Army men. They had lead Army men. Well, he made his own, so he got it. He got the mold. And he used to go down in the basement to the furnace and smelt lead. Well, that's all well and good. Well, my grandfather, Harold, his dad, he was a fish guy. He liked fish, so he had all these fish tanks. Matter of fact, later on in life, he raised some champion fish, discus or I don't know, some nonsense. And anybody who's ever owned any fish knows that when you clean the tank, you got sand in the bottom you throw away because it smells bad, really bad. Well, my dad didn't have any casting sand, so he let that sand dry out, fish tank sand, took it down in the basement, and he heated the lid up in the furnace, made his mold for his Army men, and poured hot lead in the fish shit sand. And if you saw this house, I'll bet my grandmother gagged. She said, "Richard, what are you doing?" What are you doing down there? Oh man. Yeah. You know, the old days, when I talk about old days, is not the 50s and 60s. I'm talking about back when the guys were really craftsmen. You know, you could take, let's say you broke the spindle on your car. You could take that to the blacksmith and he'd make you one. That's back when people were craftsmen. Now they don't do anything. They just throw it out and get a new one from China. Junk. All Chinese stuff is junk. When I was a kid, we used to have these toys that came from Japan, and they didn't last very long. And now it's China. Now Japan's stuff is way better than our stuff. Way better. Let me show you this. Then I'll get out of here. Everybody knows I'm a mechanic. Have been forever. This is a high dollar snap-on craftsman or snap-on crescent wrench. It's made in Spain, not USA. Stamped Spain right on it. Well, this thing is like a set of vernier calipers. I mean, high quality. Well, I went to Henry's Tool over in St. Charles. They had a 24-inch. You know, I got a 24-inch around here from Harbor Freight, $35. But they had a 24-inch crescent wrench from Japan that was made exactly like this. Zero tolerance. This has zero tolerance, like a vernier caliper. How much do you think they wanted for that crescent wrench? I know this was ridiculously enough. You know, I think this was 130 or I don't know, ridiculous amount for a crescent wrench, seeing as you don't use them very often. They wanted $3,000 for that thing. Yeah, pretty nice. High quality stuff. High quality. Just remember, you can get Harbor Freight stuff. I don't know where that crescent wrench is. You can get Harbor Freight stuff like that 24-inch crescent wrench, because there isn't a man alive that could break that crescent wrench by hand without a cheater bar. I'm not sure you could break it with a cheater bar. Ain't no sense in spending $3,000 on a $30 tool that you couldn't break, just like a hammer. You know, I got expensive hammers. I got a $200 brass hammer. What was I thinking? You ain't gonna break that. All right. Please like, subscribe, and share. All that other nonsense. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support, and many thanks to the person who got me the book. I really appreciate it. All right, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.